Hey guys, what's going on? This is Cheney 180 and
Chamba.
796 Studios.
And you're watching another episode of Chatmigos.
Assemble! Sorry, I adjusted the camera, so I'm off.
The picture and the audio is great, by the way.
Yes, very clear.
Yeah,
very clear.
killer.
No potatoes?
Looking great.
No,
no
not
potatoing.
Today. Not today.
Yeah. No, not
Thank
today.
God.
Yeah. No taters today.
No taters.
Looking good. No taters today. Yep. All right. Well, how have you been, Mario?
I'm good. Been busy trying to get mentally prepared for this 24-hour live stream on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the kids though, so I'm excited.
Yeah. Do it for the children.
Yeah.
Just think about the children.
Yeah.
By the way, killer video on your
thanks.
figure of the month video. Holy cow. That was amazing. I loved every second of it.
Thanks. I had a ton of fun, but I figured, since I was coming back, I can't, just come back with nothing.
Return with a bang.
I have to, yeah. But it was, it was a combination of I kind of missed it, and I had a really good subject matter. The figure's great. So
for sure, I was gonna say, like, the subject matter definitely made you go, "Yep, I gotta do well for this one."
I had to, man. I can't make her look bad,
No.
No, you killed it. You killed it.
Thank you.
Chamba, how are you, sir? How's Japan?
Good. Japan's great. Food's fantastic. The walking everywhere is exhausting, but yeah, it's part of it, right?
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Lago said he'll either be here late or he might not know, or he doesn't know if he can make it. So
Okay.
just a heads up with that. So he might pop in, he might not. If not, no big deal. But we've got a special guest today. We've got the one and only Jason from Spero Toys. What is up, man? How are you?
Hey.
Well, hello. How's it going, everyone?
What's up, Jason?
Thanks. Welcome.
Just hanging out.
Nice. Well, guess what? Lago is here. What is up, Lago?
Oh, I made it.
You
Yeah,
made
you
it,
did.
man.
Hey, Jason, how are you? What's up, guys?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Lago?
Yes.
Yes.
What up? What up?
indeed.
What you guys talking about?
Nothing.
Well, funny that you
Just some
asked that.
cool stuff.
Yeah, we've got Jason here to talk about some new stuff he's working on. Real quickly, Jason, for the people who may not know who you are and what you do, you want to break it down for them real quick?
Yeah. So I'm the managing partner of Spero Toys. We started off with our own IP called Animal Wars of the Kingdom, and we've got the comic book to kind of supplement that story. And we've been just doing a lot of conventions and whatnot. We've had 2 really great Kickstarters, and most of the people that handle them tell us that they're super fun to pose and just all around fun figures. And so we kind of wanted to start spreading our wings a little bit and try out a totally different figure line, which is actually more human based and historical folklore based. So yeah, I guess we could kind of talk about that.
Okay, yeah, we'll get to that here in 1 second. We're going to check in with our wonderful Chatmigos here. So, what is up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in today. Hit that thumbs up, share with your friends, let them know Jason is here, and we're going to be talking about his new line here. So make sure to let everybody know. Let's go ahead and kick it off here. We got Mark Roses in the house. Zio Adams is here. Jelly Figs. Saf Amateur Hour is also in the house. Man Beast Boy, what is up, sir? Marcus Yee is here. Blood Forced Honesty is in the house with number 1 Hushmigo. John is here. So if you're a Hushmigo, drop those dots in the chat. Crescent Blue Zero is also in the house. Dorian G. Sonic Rockman X is here. Stormfire Blizzard. Grumps, how are you, sir? Brad Harper is also here. What is up, Brad? Tripping with Toys. Toy Ransu is here. Matt Logic 44. Pletho. We've got Marcus E. Grumps. Disavowed Action Figures is in the house. What is up, man? We got Venom 24 is here. Extraordinary Plastic Poser is here as well. Paul Morales is here. Diggs Figs, what is up, man? So we are all caught up with that. So as I said before, please hit that thumbs up, share it with your friends, let them know what's going on over here. But without further ado, you want to go ahead and walk us through Bushidto and how it came to be?
Sure. Yeah. So we're really small. So it's me and our head of sales, Derek, and our coordinator, Sequoia. Logistics is Adam, and then our 2 main sculptors are Arlen and Dan Mitchell. And I said, I want to kind of do another line. And Dan was mentioning that he had something that he was really excited about. And so we kind of looked over it and he showed it to me. And I was just like, my God, this is so awesome. And it's funny because I thought I liked, samurai, feudal Japan, but like Dan's knowledge and excitement for it, was like triple mine. So I was just like, okay, all right. So he started showing me gray renders and everything. I was like, yeah, dude, this is going to be our next project. So yeah, we're super excited about it. I'm kind of finalizing the last paint master for the 3rd figure of wave 1. And I guess if you guys want to kind of pull those up or whatever other questions you guys might have, I'll be happy to answer that.
Okay, let me go ahead and bring it up here and we can show off some of these figures. You may have seen these on Spero's account already. So we've got this one right here.
So this is our kind of our army builder, the kind of elite samurai.
Alrighty. And then Lago, Chamba, Mario, feel free to jump in if you guys have any questions about these right now.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
And then
these
we'll
look
move-
great. The mask head sculpts, are they going to be like separate head sculpts, or are they going to be masks that you could put on top of the head?
Yeah, so they are. So the little helmet is going to unplug essentially, and you'll just be able to swap them out like that.
That's cool.
Oh, I love that. That's really cool.
Nice.
And the heads are kind of sitting a little funny. I took the heads off of the figures when I sent them to the photographer, and I think the helmeted one kind of fit a little wonky. This one's, I think, is a good representation of how they're supposed to look, like as far as like how it's sitting on the head.
Okay. And then what scale are these again?
They're 1/6 scale, or well, they're 6-inch scale, but they're 1/12
There you
scale as
go.
well.
Nice, nice. So they'll be able to fit in with all your other 6-inch figures.
Right.
That's-
Yeah, exactly.
Is the
And then
armor removable too?
No. So can you go back one real quick?
Yeah.
So I can kind of look. Well,
There.
so basically the only thing that's really going to be removable on it is the sash, I believe, and the skirting, the armor skirting.
Oh, okay.
So that other stuff is not going to be removable, but it flexes really well. His torso is slightly different because, you know, wearing that kind of armor, you wouldn't necessarily be able to do an ab crunch realistically.
True.
But the other figures will have the ab crunch.
Okay. Awesome. And I'll go up to the other one up here. And this one, you know, is it may look a little bit familiar to some people. Is it not popping up?
There it is.
I was like,
All right.
man, is my computer lagging?
No, I think it might be on my end. But yeah, this guy might look a little familiar to somebody you may know from another show in
Naruto?
some way or form.
I've never watched it. Dan mentioned that it was an
Chatmigos.
homage, and I was like, well, that's cool. That's
Oh,
fun. Like the design was cool, you know. I was like, well, let me know what color to paint it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's definitely a Zorro homage.
Yeah, it doesn't come in two pieces. It might come in one piece, you know.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah,
I mean,
one piece.
I don't even know if I should watch that series. I kind of almost just want to watch the live action because it's so much shorter. But I feel like everyone would get upset.
No, actually, not at all. I would recommend that you watch the live action.
Yeah,
I watched it with my kid and she loved it. And then
well, that's
our
good.
friend,
I was really disappointed with the Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah.
I actually liked
Yeah.
Death Note. I thought it was fine. I don't know why people were so upset about it, but you know, I didn't watch the anime, so it could have been like just totally not representative of the actual show.
yeah, that one's a little bit different, but One Piece was really good. Our friend Augie, he actually watched a little bit of the anime and then kind of fell off and then watched the live action and it reignited that flame. And now he's almost 500 episodes through the anime.
What? Holy
like that,
crap,
yeah.
dude! That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's
You can
wild.
get through it quite. It's
That's
actually
wild.
quite simple to get through.
Aren't
Yeah.
they gonna redo it like with less filler or something like that? So
Yeah, it's
people can
called the
watch it
One
that are-
Piece.
Oh, they added the in there. Nice.
Mhm.
That's cool.
That's what I like about like modern streaming of movies. You can watch it at like 5 times the speed if it's a filler episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this is actually pretty cool because it is a homage to Zorro, but almost like you almost get like a, because of the way the hair is, almost like a Billy Idol kind of like vibe
Yeah.
from it.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, so the
Like,
story is he's his
Cody
own
Rhodes.
character, but so he's a bounty hunter, and on his, it's kind of hard to see because he's holding the sword in his right
Mhm.
hand. He's got like a demon's or a Oni Slayer sword, but every time he uses it, kind of like damages his arm, so that's why it's kind of wrapped up in bandages, and you
Okay.
can kind of see the bruising on his arm.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's awesome. Heck yeah. All right. Do you guys have any questions about this one?
This guy's his skirt piece is removable too, right?
Right. Yeah. This the
Mm,
armor skirting.
Okay. Is that
Okay,
is
that's
that like
cool.
a softer? You said more flexible.
It's very
plastic?
yeah. It's very
Okay.
It's very flexible. Yeah.
Nice.
That's what I was concerned about as well, because it's like 2 layers of skirting, but it's
Right.
got the kind of plastic will be nice and flexible.
That's good.
And then for these, are you going to go with the same factory that you use for animal?
Yes, most likely. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I really like the quality of the animal
Yeah,
Wars Kingdom.
their knowledge of plastic and the QC is just fantastic. So no complaints. It's just a matter of if they're not too busy.
Yeah, no, the ones that I own, they're insane quality. So if this is
Yeah.
going to go through the same place, like that's going to be awesome. I have very little worry of the Animal Warriors or the Kingdom figures breaking. They're
Right.
great quality.
Yeah, they're
Solid
really
figures.
sturdy. That's one of the things we're very proud of.
Yeah, I have no qualms with like handing it to like a kid and just letting them thrash around with it.
Right, exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like go ham, have fun. This is what it's all
Right.
about.
Right,
you know?
exactly. Yeah. It's like those 80s He-Man figures. Not quite, but man, those
Yeah.
things were tough.
Yeah, in the same vein for sure. All right. Let's go ahead and move along here. You sent me over some slides for us to take a look at, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go ahead and bring this one up since we have already
Right. So
seen
those
it.
are the renders. This is essentially what I used to do the Paint Masters.
Okay.
Mm.
And there's that one. And then here is the Bounty Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
That's double neck.
So
So
you can see
Jason-
his demon sword right there.
Mhm.
Okay.
I also like
How
his
did-
little gourd. It's fun.
Yeah.
The gold's cool.
What was that, Lago?
I was just gonna say, like, going from the Animals Warriors of the Kingdom that were like the animals, and they were a little bit more
Right.
like not so realistic. How the big
Right.
change in styles? How did that
Mm.
happen, and how does that feel? For you guys?
I really like it because it kind of lets everyone know that we're a brand. We're not just like Animal
Mm.
Warriors of the Kingdom,
Mhm.
And I told Dan, I was like, I want you to do what you want to do. So I essentially let him art direct. And whenever you see the next render, like we'll have conversations about like, I'm just like, hey, I think this might be better, more saturated or less saturated. That's really the extent of my like creative input. So a lot of it is me asking like, oh, what is that? Or like the first time I tried to put the swords together for the Paint Master, I was like, they don't fit very well. And he was like, well, it's because you have them upside down. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's been interesting, like learning about it, So it's like you think, you watch like The Last Samurai, and you're just like, man, that's so amazing. But it's like just like there's so much detail in history in general,
Mhm.
like the European knights have like their armor that's like so complex.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll go ahead and bring up the next one here.
Whoa.
And this one is Oni.
Yes, so this is our first villain. So it's going to be the samurai fighting the Oni.
Here, let me find
Yeah,
the
this one looks sick. I might own you this one.
So he's right there. You go, dad jokes.
If you only get one, right?
If you own it,
Right, you gotta go for it, dude. We
this
are trying to
is the
do
only one.
that tiger part as a soft goods, but we're not sure if they have tiger patterns that small, or I'm sure they do, but it's one of the things that we have to kind of vet with the factory to make sure it's okay.
I
But
like
the goal is
the broken
all
horn.
50.
That's a
What's
that's
that?
a nice touch. The broken horn.
Thank you.
That's a nice touch.
Right, it's really fun.
So wait a minute. Brick something saying this is a reveal. This is a reveal first time.
Yeah,
here,
yeah, we're actually revealing
Holy
this for the
crap.
first time.
Toymigos
We are.
exclusive. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that.
We gotta get the
Ew.
sound bite. Toymigos exclusive.
Oh yeah. Brought to you by Toymigos.
Yeah. Here, we'll do this then.
There you go.
So is this going to be like a taller figure? Like a beefier?
That Oni's pretty tall. I think it might be the size of an AWOC figure. So like 6.9. Let me ask. Let me see if I can't find it in the our specs.
Already.
I think it's like 6.88 inches. It's an almost 7-inch figure. You know,
It's a big boy.
Very cool. Yeah.
it's quite big. Yeah.
It's awesome. I like this one a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, this one's killer for sure. The cool thing about this is you can pick this up and kind of like throw it in wherever,
Right. Yeah. I mean, I could see people using it for like Mythic Legions or Masters of the Universe.
Even like I had the memory toys or the Medi toys like orcs.
Oh
they
yeah,
kinda
yeah,
go with
yeah.
This, you know?
Right, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I can almost see you like I'm probably gonna mix them in with my G.I. Joe collection to an extent, you know. I mean, they are like really period accurate, but I don't know. I feel like this guy would. I don't know. I kind of want to like have him fight against the Nemesis Immortal.
Oh yeah.
There you go. And then,
dang, I should not have sent you that. Sorry, Dan's gonna be upset.
Oh,
it's just a whip. It's just that it was just basically without the hair.
My bad.
No, it's my fault. I accidentally sent it.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Thank you.
That like beaded necklace thing, is that going to have like a wire in between?
No, it's gonna have a string. So it's essentially what's funny is
that's cool.
I'm from Louisiana, so we have like Mardi Gras. So like I see it and I'm like, those are Mardi Gras beads. I know it's not, but it's like I can't help but think that. But yeah, I think that's
he showed a little something to get the beads.
Right? Yeah. It's gotta have I mean, I don't know if y'all have been to New Orleans for Mardi Gras, but like they throw beads, they throw different things. Like but the main two are beads and doubloons, which are just like fake little coins.
I've never been to Mardi Gras. Should we explain to the chat what never mind.
So Mardi Gras is basically
No,
like
okay,
I was gonna say, I was like, we could go into it. I was saying before we started, I think I have like a little head cold or something. My brains are just like jello right now.
No worries.
So sorry, Cheney.
No, go ahead. You're good.
So what about how'd you guys come up with this color choice? Because I like the color palette here. Like I like the dark blue, I like the little tiger stripes and all that stuff. So
yeah, Dan and I talked about it very, very briefly, and he was like, I got an idea. I kind of want to, do like red or blue. And I was like, well, why don't you try blue first, since we've got the samurai, and it'd be like a lot of red in one wave,
Nice contrast.
But he showed me an Oni statue that had that tiger print cloth. So he said, I really kind of want to incorporate that as well too. And I was like, yeah, dude, do your thing. I'm excited to see what you come up with, so.
Yeah, you could easily even do a variant down the road of this and with like the red skin too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the idea is to do another additional Oni like this as red, but additional different heads.
Nice. Yeah, Toy Collector Magazine says Akuma with the Akuma vibes with that necklace.
For sure.
Was that Mario?
Do his little slippers over there, do they come off, or is that molded part of the foot?
So we're not intending for them to come off, but Dan was speculating that they're probably going to be somewhat removable. We don't know. Like it's just too early to say. I would kind of like them to be removable. But I don't know how practical it is. Like it might be one of those things where the ropes are like sculpted into the feet, and then there's like a little plug underneath it in the front and the back, you know. So
I got you.
It might be something that like you could pry off and then you have to like snip it.
The one thing that I do like when people do is when they if it has like a toe hinge, if the sandal is actually attached to the front like toe hinge
front of the toes.
Yeah, so you can actually get, you know, that when you lift the foot up, it still stays flat on the ground when the foot is like arched up.
Yeah, I don't think it would work for this particular figure just because of the nature of like the shoes, you know. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
For sure. So when are you looking to start I guess funding for this or start putting them up for pre-sale?
We keep like bouncing around. It'll probably I wanted to do it in like the second quarter. But there's some stuff we need to figure out as far as like the soft goods go, and like we really want to kind of dial it in and give ourselves, you know, a good runway. So it'll probably, I don't know, it'll probably be early summer. I haven't decided yet. We might, if we can get it earlier, we will do it earlier. But we'll see.
Well, one thing for sure, I mean, obviously you don't want to rush it because what you got going on right here is awesome. Obviously, dial it in until you guys are all completely content, and then
and like I said, if we can do it earlier, we will. We just want to make sure that, like I said, like we cross all our T's and dot all our I's with the look and the material types.
For sure, for sure. Do you guys have any more questions before I open it up to the chat?
Yeah. In regards to like extra hands and whatnot.
Oh yeah, there are going to be a bunch of additional hands.
Okay.
It's so funny because Dan was just like, I think for like a week he was just sculpting hands, and like I don't know about you guys, but I still can't think, like whenever I see like 3D stuff like this, I always think about how like in animation they rig it where it's like it looks like that, and on the inside it's got all the little bones to where they can animate it. And so it's real easy to forget that, like, oh no, it doesn't necessarily, you know, he can't do that. He could probably get to like
sculpt it all.
Like maybe like 30% of it, but you still have to sculpt each one. And the samurai's hands, whenever you see them in person, they have like this intricate looped mesh on it. And I was just like, man, that had to be so just a pain in the ass to sculpt all that, you know?
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
That's good. It's good that they're gonna have extra hands there, because I know that's one of the concerns that people have, where it's like, are they just gonna have a gripping hand? And
no, they really have. To me, it's like an excessive amount of hands. I'm just like, dude, that's a lot. But he even did did hands that work like this, you know?
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And he showed it to me, and I still don't understand. I'm just like, is it like I'm like, is it merged or what? And I would be okay if it was. It would make sense if it was merged, you know, because it's like you're not going to stand with your arms apart anyway. It's like you have one pose. But anyway,
exactly.
I went on a tangent, but cool. He did a ton of hands.
Cool.
Okay. Lago, Mario.
Yeah.
I was going to ask about the hands too, because these type of like characters need that, like, definitely like the splayed out hand,
expressive, you know? For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
When you're swinging that sword, you know.
Right, there you go. I tell Dan, like Dan will tell me what he tells me what that weapon is all the time, and I'm just like, the Japanese bat. Where's that file? Like, where's the Japanese bat at?
Sonic Rockman asks, will it come with open mouth like Screaming Face? Seems like a must to pose him with swinging.
Not these two. So like the heads that are on here are what's going to come with it.
That's it.
But we'll probably we'll be doing additional facial expressions.
Very cool.
You know, it's just the first wave, so we have some other stuff that we'll be offering.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to go ahead and open it up to the chat. So if you guys have questions, I can read them to Jason, and he will answer them in his best ability to.
I've got a question while we wait.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you have any female characters planned, whether it be human or demon, down the line?
There we go, Chamba.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to do a female character. It probably won't be until wave 3.
Sure.
Wave 2 is pretty much like spec'd out already.
Okay.
Good.
But we were Dan and I were really leaning towards like a female assassin, maybe ninja type. We talked about a geisha being cool, but I was like, it is really cool, but I just don't know how well it would sell. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
think it could sell depending. The design could always sell something.
It's like it's one of those things where it's like you almost like box it to like a totally different like customer base. You know.
Mm-hmm.
What about like a female demon?
That's what I was gonna say. Like if it was like, what would be cool if it was like, I always like it on the animes that I've watched that have Oni in it when they reveal themselves to be, they show their true form. So it could be cool. Like she's like an Oni geisha. That would be pretty cool.
The market for larger female demons is actually quite open. There's a lot of anime these days. Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a big request for it?
I mean, it seems to be a commonplace these days. So I'm surprised that no one else is actually like hopping
Jason,
onto that market.
Just
I'm dead serious.
Search up muscle mommies and you'll get your answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's true. I know it feels like that's so niche, and I'm like, it's because no one's been willing to dive into it. Yeah.
Right.
There's a couple of third-party companies now just trying to tackle it, and people are like, yep, finally.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's only a matter of time. But like female onis are actually quite something that you can actually look into.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I will check it out.
Our wonderful friend Brick Something says, "Did you talk price points?"
Not yet. We want to get a quote from the factory before we announce any of that.
Okay.
Cool.
Sonic Rockman says, "Will the rope be soft goods or can his rope be removed?"
It's gonna be some type of softer plastic. I don't think it's gonna be something that's gonna be super flexible though. It'll essentially just kind of like move enough to get out of the way of posing. So
okay.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Blood Beast EB, will they come with any ninja effects?
I don't believe so. If we do something like that, we might start incorporating it in wave 2.
Okay. Let me bring this one up real quick. And then will they have shin/boot swivel?
Yes, all of them have shin/boot swivel.
Wicked.
Okay.
They have an impressive amount of articulation considering they're wearing that like big bulky armor.
Mm-hmm.
Or well, this guy anyway,
Toyrensu says Onimusha inspired gauntlet accessory.
I have no idea. I don't watch anime like that. The only anime I really watched was like Akira, Vampire Hunter D, and oh man, see, I can't even think of a third one. Ninja Scroll,
Yeah,
so
there we go.
Yeah.
E. McNeil says any yokai in the works.
There you go.
So what is that?
Yokai is basically just Japanese spirits.
For spirits? I honestly don't know.
Because there's various kinds. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to just like tackle one thing and then like there's an open world out there. There's so many things.
Well, I will say this. It's folklore. It's samurai and folklore. So that falls into folklore. So I would lead into it, yes,
Yeah.
Okay. Break something. If you do geisha or non-armored figures, you thinking soft goods? ?
It all depends on what's best for the figure. I still kind of think about how they like ham-fisted the first Tatooine Luke with his gi, and it just felt so Barbie dollish, it just didn't feel like it worked. I feel like the Four Horsemen do fantastic stuff with their soft goods, so I might have to check out and see if they have any advice as far as that goes.
Right.
Not that I have a direct line or anything. Give me a break.
Let's see. Zio says, I see a Torii gate in the logo, and he plans to actually offer the gate as a diorama piece.
No, not necessarily. It's one of those things where I don't know if the customer base is there. You know, if maybe if we're like on celebrating the 5 years of Bushidto, we might do something like a special 2-pack and have that in there. You know.
Okay. So basically, guys, if you want something like that, support the line.
Dude, that Zoe Adams Instagram avatar is funny.
Yeah. Ninja effect packs. I think you said.
You know, that's something I'll be a little bit more open to for Wave 2. We just kind of want to get these out there and see, get fans' feedback and everything. And I feel like Wave 2 will try to do like 2 Oni and 2 human.
Okay.
So hopefully that'll lend itself to like a weapon or accessory pack of some kind.
Rick Jones, will animal heads fit on these guys?
They would be out of scale. So like this guy right here is about the same height as the G.I. Joe classified Duke. So it'll probably be the same ball joint as far as the size, but I think scale wise it would look off. But that's just me.
Or if you wanted him to look like he had like a kind of like a mascot,
right? Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Actually, some of the smaller AWOC figures, like from the from Series 2, like the fox and the rabbit, might work. Could make a fun little TMNT homage.
There you go. Dorian G says Turbo Granny ? You don't know what Turbo Granny is?
I don't know what that is.
That'd be funny if he did know what it was.
I feel like such a fraud. Like Dan knows all this stuff, and I'm just like, I like toys, and he's just like, I'm gonna do this super historically accurate.
We'll definitely have to have Dan on as well.
Yeah,
and he can dive into it a little bit more there. Shelf Present says any Kunoichi plans? That's basically what like the female ninja, right?
Yeah, we had talked about doing that in Wave 3.
Okay. Marcus C says, do you plan on doing other history / folklore based lines like Vikings / Norse myth, Spartans and Greek myth, Egyptian, indigenous, etc.?
That's a really awesome idea. I'd love to see something like that happen. We just kind of want to, we don't want to get too far out over our skis before we, start announcing different things. But I think that could be really cool. I loved what Boss Fight did with their hacks. They did a fantastic job.
Zion says, we already talked about my boy Gon in Killua.
Well, we haven't. That's Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, okay. No, we have not. Bricks Up Thing, I will pressure you to do soft goods.
Oh, I know it. You don't have to tell me.
Rensu says brawler monk type characters.
Yeah, I mean we've got to have bad guys. I mean we've got to have heroes to fight the monsters. So I don't want to speak for Dan because I'm letting him make directing it. Okay. Right now we just have waves 1 and 2 planned out. So
okay,
but I think that would be cool. It would be a good army builder as well.
Sonic Rockman says, how will the neck articulation be like?
So I handle the paint masters that I handle are like some of the parts are fused, but there's a part at the top of the head and then the neck itself plugs into the torso. So does that count as 3, 1, 2? Okay. Hopefully that answers your question.
So is there a ball joint at the bottom of that neck that
there
plugs
is
on?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So you get some motion there, and then there's a hinge at the top of the neck, and then a ball joint connected to
Right.
that hinge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
So you
Awesome.
could probably easily switch out, like if you wanted the guy with the blonde hair, the bounty hunter, if you wanted to put
Mhm.
that head on here and vice versa, you could do something like that.
Cool.
Oh, for sure. Stormfire Blizzard says Native American / tracker. Can that fit into this world? I don't know.
You know, I don't want to get too far out ahead of myself.
For sure.
Fair enough. Extraordinary plastic poser. Gotta watch the replay, fellas. Question: wrist articulation up and down for the
Good
swords.
question.
Yes,
Yeah,
the
really
wrist
good question.
articulation for the sword hands are up and down.
Nice.
Very good.
Perfect. Let's see. E. McNeil, any chance for fancy parade armor helmets? Check out Kawari and Kabuto.
Yeah, we can check them out. We'll check them out.
Very generous super chat from #1 Hushmigo John. 3% battery. Love y'all. Catch the replay. Thank you, John. Thank you
Shit,
so
dude.
much. All right. Show President says female ninjas equals Konoichi. He looks like the first Hokage and Zoro got together. That's fair. That's fair.
That's actually pretty good.
Marcus Yee, do you plan on doing accessory packs like armor sets or extra weapons?
Well, I'd like to do that for Wave 2.
Okay. All right. And then any horses for them to ride on?
Not at the moment. I think that's something that would probably be our first like real big deluxe figure. And there's so many great horses right now. Like I can't not think of like the Mythic Legion's horses are so good, you know. They are out of scale, so they probably wouldn't fit on this one, you know.
Yeah, they'd be riding these monster horses.
Right? Yeah.
Well, you can have the Oni ride those ones, right?
Right. Yeah, that would be. I mean, I'm gonna personally do that myself. So.
You
Yeah.
should have these guys
Why
ride the
wouldn't?
Figma horses, the little
Yeah,
ponies.
the Sigma horses. Yeah. That could work actually.
Yeah,
Just slightly
that'd be awesome.
underscaled.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Let's see. I think are we all done for questions? Blood Beast says, I'm worried about the waist movement with that big armor, but realistically, there wouldn't be too much movement.
No.
It does have it's got a bowl. So if you have a
I
GI
figured a
Joe
bowl would
classic
be
one,
enough.
it's got that. Yeah, it's got that bowl. So
Okay.
it will lean forward, but it's not going to be something where you're like, wow, I can't believe he's touching his toes. You know.
You shouldn't be
Right,
able to
right,
because of the armor
It'd
and
be
stuff.
like-
yeah.
I can't believe
Yeah.
I broke this thing because I was trying to make it touch its toes.
Yeah.
Have you ever messed around with one of those like manga realization figures? Like the
No, are those like all import toys or?
yeah, they're like samurai versions of like Marvel characters and samurai versions of like Star Wars
Okay, that
characters.
sounds cool.
The May show? Was it that one? Something
Yeah,
like that?
I
There's
have
the
not.
movie realization and the manga
I'd love to
realization,
if someone
right?
was like, "Hey, let me send you one of these to kind of check out and see if you like."
Yeah, I think they look like the articulation might be similar. So I was like, maybe
Yeah.
they took inspiration for that. You should check them out.
There you go. Carl Ender Shadow says, it's not good. There we go. Says, will there be a Raiden, not Mortal Kombat, but the actual Japanese god?
You know what? I honestly, it's folklore, so I can't take it off the list, but I can't confirm it
depends
either.
on what Dan's planning, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I would love that. I think that'd be really cool.
And then Sonic Rockman says, I think I'll use the villain for Berserk 2. Nice.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. I think that's about all the questions that we have here. Mario, Lago, Chamba, did you have anything else you wanted to ask him?
Yeah, Jason, I don't know if you already said this, but when do you start painting these things to do the paint masters?
So we started painting them about 2 weeks before Legion's Con.
Oh, okay.
So we were actually trying to get the Oni done in time but it just wasn't possible. I could have literally finished it in time, but getting it to the event unscathed that's where the like real challenge kind of came in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, I'm always interested in seeing those paintmasters because that's one thing I remember about you. You use the apple barrel paint, right? Or just the cheap.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you know what?
That's
I
so
actually
crazy.
well for this project, I want to say 80% of the paint I used was like for miniature painting. Like there's one called Too Thin Coats.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
And you know, and then I bought some paint expand. You know, it lets you I have to cut it. You know, you can't just do like
Right, the thinner
straight out the bottle in most cases. You know, so I lost my train of thought. I thought it was great. It's interesting. It's got something in it that really, it almost, maybe it has like some sort of like an alcohol or something that like seals the paint, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So it's been cool. It's been cool. I've enjoyed it. And you know, if you're doing something like yellow, you don't have to put like 5 or 6 coats on the thing for it to actually, you know, start to be non-opaque.
Right. Yeah, there's
I
stuff.
want to highlight Shelf Presence comment here because he's a big supporter of the channel. So it's nice seeing the expansion of these lines delving into these different cultures and folklore. I love to see what someone would do with Vikings, Native American tribes, or Mayans. Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I'm really fascinated. I was really fascinated for years with Mayan and Aztec cultures and how they were different, but like similar in a lot of ways to. But
all right. Well, we'll definitely have to get Dan on here. And,
for
bring
sure.
you back so you guys
can know all the good answers.
Yeah. But in the meantime, how is Animal Warriors going? How's everything flowing with that?
It's going awesome. We've got like we had some check models to show over for the second Kickstarter at Legions Con, so that was really cool because it's like it's the first really important step to kind of vet all the tooling and everything before they start, you know, throwing it on the machine and pushing plastic out. So it's cool, man. It's really exciting.
Heck yeah. And about how far out are we on those?
We're looking at late summer. Yeah.
Late summer. Okay. Awesome. Any plans for what's coming next after that for Animal Warriors?
So we're going to start working on Series 2 or Wave 2, Series 2 after that's delivered. So we've got essentially 3 waves of stuff planned out. And we want to, you know, ideally put Bushidto stuff in between those waves. And then, you know, we've got a couple of other ideas that we'd like to explore.
Nice. It's good to see that you're staying busy over there because, like I said, man.
Oh my God, yeah,
the figures that I have, they're great, man. They're great figures.
Thank you. Yeah, I felt guilty during Thanksgiving because I really didn't do much. Like I didn't do much work. I was just, like getting anxiety because I was like, I know I'm supposed to be painting something, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Let me see here. So real quickly, before we wrap this up, I want to just go over these one more time here in case someone's just hopping in right now and may have missed. This is the Bounty Hunter from Bushidto, new line from Spero Toys. And he comes with all of these goodies here. Looking good. We've got a homage figure here with a seemingly kind of like Billy Idol head sculpt, which looks very cool. I'm down with that. And then we have the samurai here with the armor pieces you could throw on there. Plenty of accessories.
Yeah, I think those will be great army. That's going to be a great army builder figure.
Agreed. And then I'll get a closer look at that one. And the accessories. Oh, wrong side. There we go. So it comes with 2 different heads and then 2 separate swords.
Yes, and it's going to have a bunch of extra hands. So all the figures will come with a bunch of extra hands.
Okay. Awesome. And then we've got this guy here, which was shown off for the first time here.
Chatmigos exclusive.
Look at him. He's so handsome.
Yeah. It's so cute how his teeth come out of his mouth. It's just adorable.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes with so it's 2 bats.
No, it's one. He just kind of wanted to show that it can be stored on the back. So the little wooden pole will slide out, and it's kind of hard to tell in the render, but under the gourd, it's a rope. Yeah, so that rope plugs in the back, and that's essentially how you'll store it.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
So that knot rope isn't connected to the rope on his over his shoulder.
Okay, awesome. And then these are the 3 figures that will be in wave 1?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. And so wave 1 will be a 3-figure line?
Yes, yeah. And then we'd like to move to 4 figures after that.
Okay. Awesome. Brick Something says, yep, very first time these images were made public. Chatmigos exclusive.
Yay!
All right. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, and then we can expect these sometime, you said second quarter next year to go up for order?
We're going to do the pre-order, yeah. We'd love to do it for the second quarter. If not, we'll do it early summer.
Cool. Okay. And then probably realistically about a year out from that then?
Yes, I would think it's going to be a year. It's essentially the same body for the human, except for like the torso goes. And then the other figure is, 100% new figure. So just to kind of give us a little bit of wiggle room,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's better to scope out your time and have a little bit of extra time and have them,
right. Yeah, because
we
can
go earlier than
do
planned.
Everything right on our end. The factory could do everything right on their end, and then maybe a client before theirs has something that needs to be tweaked or something, and then then they lose 2 weeks, and then that means we lose 4 weeks, so it's good to just kind of like try to account for that type of stuff.
Yeah, no, it's definitely better for everybody all the way around, especially if you're waiting to get these, where it's like realistically you're looking probably summer of 2026 to get these in hand.
Right, exactly.
And
just treat it like
best case scenario is like, oh no,
I'm anticipating it taking 10 months to complete the project, and then 2 months to actually arrive to us. Mm-hmm. Time, our last shipment, it normally takes 32 days. It took 48 days. And then they had the dock workers strike, and then it got a random TS or customs inspection. I was just like, oh my God. So like we literally, it was in America for it took 2 months to get to America, and then like another month of just sitting there, like not getting fulfilled. I was just like, oh my God.
I can't even imagine what that's like. That's got to be horrible.
It's interesting. I'll tell you that. Yeah. So,
yeah, because you're like, okay, everything's done, everything's ready to go.
Yeah,
it just has to get to me, and it's just sitting.
It's amazing. When you think of like how complex it is just to make a figure, package it, and then send it literally across the ocean to the other side of the world, and like hope that like no giant waves like take your precious cargo, and then it gets there, and then they're like, we're gonna do a random check, and you're like, okay. Have fun playing with these toys,
Yeah, like it's all toys. I can guarantee you, it's all toys. It's toys that I'm waiting to ship out to everybody.
Right?
Yeah,
have fun.
Oh my gosh.
Like I'm picturing them like doing like action figure angels, like and just like a big pile of the figures, you know?
Yeah.
So did they have to like go through and inspect like all the cases of everything, or they just kind of like check?
I honestly don't know because we never saw it. Like it went just straight to our fulfillment. But I have had it before. I've had it done before, and they literally only checked one box. So I guess
Okay.
But
That's funny.
who knows?
Okay. Awesome. Awesome.
Oh.
Well, I'd like to thank you for hopping on with us and taking the time out of your day. I know you're not feeling too hot,
Yeah,
but
my
I
pleasure,
appreciate
yeah.
you coming and hanging out and
Sure.
showing off your new line here.
Thank you for having us. And I would like to come back on like right before it launches,
For sure.
maybe
Absolutely.
like the day of launch, something like that. Excuse me.
We could definitely work something like that out for sure.
Yeah. I almost forgot
make
I had
sure
a
to
cold
stay
until
in
you said
touch.
that.
Oh, my bad.
It's like you reminded me, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm not feeling good."
Oh, it's itching.
I just
Oh, my
teased you.
nose.
Oh yeah, I am
What's
sick.
going on here?
Yeah.
I was okay, and then now I'm not.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
could have happened?
Yeah. I almost forgot all about it. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. Stay tuned for Spero Toys for more news on Bushidto. And as we said before, he'll be back with Dan to talk right before they launch. Mario, how do we keep up with you?
You can follow me on 796 Studios on Instagram, but more importantly, we have a charity live stream this Saturday. It's a 24-hour live stream. We're going to be raising funds for St. Jude's for the kids. It's going to start 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Very important. Each $10 donation gets you automatically entered for some fantastic giveaways. And I think there's a rumor floating around that one of those prizes might be a giant man. I don't know.
Oh my!
Wow.
Maybe. Or I could just be lying right now.
Gosh.
But I never
Giant
lie.
lie.
Wow.
Yeah.
The giant
So check it
lie.
out.
Yeah.
It's on Kev's channel, unboxing. Toying Around. That's his name.
Toying around.
He's going to be doing an unboxing Thursday to kind of go over the stream, talk over the prizes. There's going to be games too. And I think we're going to be doing Family Feud, Enablers versus Toymigos and ACBA.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Get ready, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy.
Peace.
Right. Chamba, how do we keep up with you, sir?
You can follow me at the Chamba on Instagram and Twitter. This weekend I'll be at Tokyo Comic Con, so if you're there, drop by. I'll give you a sticker.
All right.
He's just bragging.
In luck. And Lago, how do we keep up with you?
You can find me on Instagram and YouTube, Lago Figs. I just put up some videos this week. Also, another video going to come out soon for the YouTube channel. This weekend on Sunday, I'll be at the Woodbridge, New Jersey Toy Show with Henrock and Man Beast Boy. I think D. Blake Make's going to be there as well, so we'll be selling there.
Oh, nice.
And then next weekend, I'm going to be at the American Dream Mall for the Dragon Ball tour, so I'll be there too.
Oh, nice. Nice. So stay tuned to Lago's channel. Run over there, subscribe, like, comment, do all of the things. As always, I'm Cheney180. Yep. I'm Cheney180. You can follow me, Cheney180, on Instagram, Toymigos Instagram, Toymigos Facebook group, Toymigos Discord. Check out the Jaded Toys Street Fighter Facebook group as well. And I've been working on a couple videos too, so we got some stuff coming. We got a neat little surprise here for the end of the year. I think it's going to be pretty awesome. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. As always, I'm Cheney180.
I'm Lago Figs.
Chamba.
796 Studios.
I'm Jason.
And Chatmigos.
Awesome.